Hello and welcome to a new idea. Hello and welcome to a new idea about yourself. And welcome to an inclusion of everything. Welcome to an inclusion of your own world that you cannot hold as a separate drama of your splitness from everything. It is impossible for you to remain in this perception of yourself. Why is that true? Because you feel the pressure and the conflict about your necessity to control reality. Welcome to my own undoing and your undoing of a separate self. This is what you're given with the Course in Miracles. The idea that nothing that you see means anything, that it is of your own making, that it's actually already over, and you are finding yourself in a review of how you have found your way to a new perception, to a new vision, to a new world, to a happy dream, and to the end of the happy dream, where you recognize that you are one with everything, that you are one with God, that it's right here and right now, in your own experience of the universal, fine, delicate mind that you are. And I'm gonna read to you a part from the workbook, lesson 166, if I can find it. And I'll share with you the idea that everything is given you, and that you are in a process of awakening, that you are in the process of coming to know yourself in this moment. What is required of you? What is required is simply to let go of the control of this moment. You cannot control this. You know exactly that it's true, because it cannot be that life, that what you are, needs any control whatsoever. Everything that you can do, the only thing you can actually do, is to stay in a training, to stay in a determination to be vigilant for your real reality, not the one that you made, not this, but to use this as your springboard to a new perception. You can change your mind in any moment, and this is what Jesus is asking of you. This is why he's tapping on your shoulder and saying, hey, I'm with you. When are you going to change your mind? When are you going to come home? Nothing here is real. Okay, and here we go. Your ancient fear has come upon you now, and justice has caught up with you at last. Christ's hand has touched your shoulder, and you feel that you are not alone. You even think the miserable self you thought was you may not be your identity. Perhaps God's word is truer than your own. Perhaps his gifts to you are real. Perhaps. Perhaps he has not wholly been outwitted by your plan to keep his son in deep oblivion and go the way you chose without yourself. So, what is he saying? Your ancient fear has caught up with you because you recognize that, holy crap, I've been in hiding all through space-time. I've been hiding up until now. And now it is time to finally come out of my cave and accept that this required course is not required because everyone else needs to do it. It's required because I need to accept that its message is for everyone and everything. Not that I have to wait for anyone to do this too and to get this, but for me to realize that the inspiration and the undoing happens within me for everyone. There is a recognition that this is not for me in isolation, but this is for me in totality. And everyone here, everything here is me in totality. It is you in totality. That's why it's a required course, because its transfer to everyone and everything is what gets you out of your perception of hell, of separation. And hey, this seems to be a big message to carry, but it is really not, because the message is light and the undoing is light. It seems to be difficult from time to time, but here and right now in this moment, we can admit that the letting go of it is actually what is the easiest thing, because it is wholly available. So whatever comes to your mind, whatever situation you find yourself in, whatever the constellation is that you're seeing this in, or you're hearing this in, let this be a total undoing. Let this be the moment where you can let the entire dream content go, because you can. This is the kind of message that has been brought to you by Jesus. This is the kind of message everything is giving you. Let this whole thing go for now and see what happens. You don't need more than an instant to come home entirely. Who says that it needs time? This doesn't say that it needs time. This says you are whole and healed and perfect as you were created right now, because you are. And this course can be learned in one instant, and this instant is always now. So let your undoing, let your acceptance of the gifts not be a linear factor within your own mind. Let this not be a sequence that plays itself out, but let this be a moment of total reality. Let this be a moment of total yes, of total surrendering to what God's will is. And in a channel that is between you and me, and that is communicating right now, you can accept that whatever is coming to your mind, that whatever is calling to you, is totally included in your remembrance and your dedication to one goal. And this is where we find the joy, because hey, what else can I include? What else is there that needs to be undone? What else can be forgiven within me? Because we just learned the lesson that forgiveness is my happiness, forgiveness is my only function, and forgiveness is the joy that I experience when my mind is open to the will and the word of God, to you, to my brother. Remember, this is a dream. Remember, you're waking up. And let's see what else Jesus says in 166. God's will does not oppose, it merely is. It is not God you have imprisoned in your plan to lose yourself. He does not know about a plan so alien to his will. There was a need he did not understand, to which he gave an answer. That is all. And you who have this answer given you have need no more of anything but this. So this is the perfect moment. This is the perfect setup for you to hear, to experience perceptually that this is not limited, that this is not a limited perception, but a whole perception of who you are. It points to your wholeness. It's a classroom. It turns holographic, and it becomes a hologram that says, well, there's actually no limit. There's no limit to your mind. It's all within you. Now do we live? For now, we cannot die. It's easy, huh? It's not magic. It's not really a miracle, because it is who you are anyway. It doesn't need a miracle for you to be eternal. It doesn't need a miracle for you to be alive, because you are alive, and you are the way, and you are the truth. It needs a miracle to remember that, and that miracle is given you right now. The wish for death is answered, and the sight that looked upon it now has been replaced by vision, which perceives that you are not what you pretended to be. One walks with you who gently answers all your fears with this one merciful reply: it is not so. He points to all the gifts you have each time the thought of poverty oppresses you, and speaks of his companionship when you perceive yourself as lonely and afraid. Yet he reminds you still of one thing more you had forgotten. For this touch on you has made you like himself. The gifts you have are not for you alone. What he has come to offer you, you now must learn to give. This is the lesson that his giving holds, for he has saved you from the solitude you sought to make, in which to hide from God. So this is your coming out. You're coming out of the cave, and your acceptance that you are actually safe if you come out of your cave. To your acceptance that nothing will kill you if you actually perceive that there is nothing that can kill you. You might not even know initially that you won't be killed, but there's no other choice. You have to step out of the cave. The cave is actually killing you. The place that you have been hiding in has been death, no matter how alive it looked. Now is the time to make a step and to say nothing happens. you have to offer this. You have to offer this in whichever form. It may be a smile, it may be the full-on concept of there is no world. You are dreaming this, but you have to give it away, one form or the other. It doesn't matter. The band, like everything that you have done, everything that you have made can be used for this, and you're using it because you changed the purpose of everything. Finally, it has a purpose. He speaks as well of what becomes your will when you accept these gifts and recognize they are your own. The gifts are yours, entrusted to your care, to give to all who chose the lonely road you have escaped. They do not understand, they but pursue their wishes. It is you who teach them now, for you have learned of Christ there is another way for them to walk. Teach them by showing them the happiness that comes to those who feel the touch of Christ and recognize God's gifts. Let sorrow not tempt to be unfaithful to your trust, and all those who can teach you who you really are will show up in your decision to learn, in your decision that you might have learned something, but that what you might have learned is not really what is offered. There's always more. There's an infinitude of more that you can accept right now. This, whatever this is within you, whatever this is, what your experience of infinity is right now, there's always more. There's always another universe behind that. There's always another parallel universe creation perception of yourself available in your own undoing, because you don't know what that is. And everyone helps you to find that. Everyone helps me to find that. So, well, you're in the midst of everything. You're the center of the storm because this is your dream. Your sights will now betray the hopes of those who look to you for their release. Your tears are theirs. If you are sick, you but withhold their healing. What you fear but teaches them their fears are justified. Your hands become the giver of Christ's touch. Your change of mind becomes the proof that who accepts God's gifts can never suffer anything. You are entrusted with the world's release from pain. Betray it not. Become the living proof of what Christ's touch can offer everyone. God has entrusted all his gifts to you. Be witness in your happiness to how transformed the mind becomes, which chooses to accept his gifts and feel the touch of Christ. Such is your mission now. Such is your mission now. For God entrusts the giving of his gifts to all who have received them. He has shared his joy with you, and now you go to share it with the world. So this is what is happening right here, right now, with you, in your own mind. This is totally available as a reference to your own mission of now, of giving the gifts of God, of receiving by giving. Amazing. I love you. I thank you for this lesson. Thank you so much for this moment where we have created a reference point. We have set up a reference point, a beacon in space-time that's available for anyone who's somehow connected with the specific of their own undoing in their commitment to truth and their whole self. This is available for anyone in space-time. It doesn't matter whether it's on this planet or the dream of another planet or just space. This is infinitely valuable because you can choose to appear anywhere in space-time with an idea of your helpfulness and the undoing of what never was in the specifics. I hope this has made sense to you, because this keeps unfolding as an abstract infinite frame in your own idea of your one wholly created self, of everything that ever is or was, because it is you. It is always you. And I thank you, brother, for this moment. I love you. God bless us. Everyone and each of us, and especially you. Thank you.